Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, biiznillah, we are able to get together again to attend the Tajweed course slash halaqa. Inshallah, as usual, we will recite one page from the Mus'haf, then we will review some of the rules of Tajweed, inshallah. Basically, continue on the rules of Noon, Saakin, and Tanween, and in the end, we will recite one more page. So let's start, inshallah. We will start actually with the page number 10. That's where we left off. We did 8 and 9 last week to my recollection, and we will do 10 and 11 today. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والنصارى والصابئين من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا فلهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. وإذ أخذنا ميثاقكم ورفعنا فوقكم الطور خذوا ما آتيناكم بقوة واذكروا ما فيه لعلكم تتقون. ثم توليتم من بعد ذلك فلولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته لكنتم من الخاسرين. ولقد علمتم الذين اعتدوا منكم في السبت فقلنا لهم كونوا قردة خاسئين فجعلناها نكالا لما بين يديها وما خلفها وموعظة للمتقين. وإذ قال موسى لقومه إن الله يأمركم أن تذبحوا بقرة قالوا أتتخذنا هزوا قال أعوذ بالله أن أكون من الجاهلين. قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما هي قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا فارض ولا بكر عوان بين ذلك فافعلوا ما تؤمرون قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما لونها قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة صفراء فاقع لونها تسر الناظرين صدق الله العظيم. So now inshallah we will go through the where is my here they are. Okay, we will look at the tajweed notes now. You can, as you probably know by now, that you can download them from the website. If you go to the website, the main page, and right here, tajweed notes. So you can download and print them out. Right from there, the mouth pictures, these ones, there also, the link is available. You can download, store on your computer if you want, but it's always available from here anyways. These are more or less permanent links. And another link for the notes on Hamzatul Wasl. So either you want to download, print them out, it's up to you, or you can always access them directly from the main page here. All right, so now let us go to our Tajweed notes and we will do a little bit of a quick review of the last week's topic, which was Idhar Halaqi. Let me make this frame big. But before that, let me get my pen so that I don't have to reduce the screen again. I'm going to make the screen big. Here we go. And more big. There we go. Okay, so now these are rules of Noon, Sakin, and Tanween. And these are the different shapes of Noon, Sakin as it appears in the Mus'haf. Let me get my pen. Okay. Um, just give me 1 second. I'm going to. My tablet is a little bit. Battery is a little bit weak, but it should be okay now. Inshallah. Here we go. Okay. So, so these are the different shapes of Noon. Okay. Um, Sorry about that. I don't know why this thing is not really responding very well. Just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna restart that app. 1 second. I'll restart it again. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. So these are the different shapes of noon as they appear. Now this noon can be inside a word as well or full noon. Okay. Now this would be the scenario of idhar halaqi, and this would be the scenario of ikhfa, and this would be the scenario of iqlab. So we already did idhar halaqi before, That means whenever noon sakin or tanween, let me just scroll this up slightly. Here we go. So here are the shapes of the tanween. Tanween, what is tanween? Tanween are three types: fathatain, kasratain, dammatain, and these shapes are for idhar halaqi. That is equal sign but slanted. So slanted equal sign would be fathatain or kasratain if it is under the letter or below, I mean somewhere on the lower side. And dhammatain appears like this, a comma like this and an inverted comma like that. This is idhar halaqi situation. What is idhar halaqi? Idhar halaqi is when you make the noon sound clear, you do not stretch the gunna, you do not stretch the nasal sound. Okay, today inshallah we are going to do, well, we'll start with Iqlaab. It's a short one. Then inshallah we'll move on to Idghaam. So uh, actually Idghaam seems to be the next one, but we will do Iqlaab first. So Iqlaab is a short one. Let us do that first. Here we go. So Iqlaab means to turn over. Iqlaab letters are, or only one letter. Iqlaab letter is just ba. So if noon sakin or tanween is followed by the letter ba, then you have the situation of iqlab. So the way of pronunciation is, if a noon sakin or tanween is followed by ba, it is converted into a hidden meme. Okay, with separating between the lips. Now this is a little bit of a, let's say, specialization. Um, this is a suggestion, but many of the Qur'an also they close the lips tightly as well, which is also considered to be correct. Okay, so when you do the iqlab, I will explain to you in just a few seconds that you can either keep your lips completely closed or you can have a separation between the lips of paper paper width paper width, that much open, so the lips will be open maybe this much, like this. Okay, this much width, even less, but it sort of shows that um, there is a meme but sort of hidden, and that hidden part you do it by separating the lips, but even if you close the lips it's good enough. So let's move on and look at the example here. The example of noon with noon sakin. So obviously we'll have the example with noon sakin and we'll have the example or examples with tanween. So there are two examples here. The first one, as we spoke before, see that noon sakin appears with a little meme on top. So whenever the ba follows noon sakin, we will convert the sound into meme, because also we realize that the makhraj of meme and ba is the same. What's the difference between the makhraj of meme and makhraj of ba? What is the difference? The difference is only one, the nasal sound. In both scenarios, the lips are closed. Okay, but for meme, the nasal cavity is open, and for ba, the nasal cavity is closed. This one is closed. For ba is closed, for meme is open. That's the main difference between meme and ba. Otherwise, the point of articulation, the lips are completely closed. Now, whenever Ikhfa happens and Iqlaab happens as far as Noon Sakin and Tanween are concerned, and the rules of Mim Sakin also when Ba follows, we call it Ikhfa Shafawi. Here, from the sound point of view, it's equivalent because you have Mim followed by a Ba. Again, you have the Noon Sakin, but it's converted because of Ba into a hidden Mim. So again, you have Mim followed by a Ba. So as far as rules of Mim Sakin are concerned, it's called Ikhfa Shafawi. As far as rules of Noon Sakin and Tanween is concerned, it is called Iqlab. Phonetically, both of them are the same from sound point of view. Okay, so how do we recite this? So we can recite it like this. If I were to recite the two words separately, then I will say min ba'di, min ba'di. But we are reciting them together, so we will say mim ba'di, and we have to stretch the gunna. Stretch the gunna. Two beats. Okay, here it is. And the reader should make gunna for two beats. So how do we do this again? Mim ba'di, mim ba'di. Now, if we apply this here, separating between lips, then this is how it's going to sound. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to open my lips like paper width. Paper width. So this is how it's going to sound. Min ba'di, min ba'di. And if I close my lips completely, it will be min ba'di. Okay, both of them are accepted. Okay, but you will see many of the Qurra, even Sheikh Khalil Mahmoud al-Husari, Sheikh Hudayfi very clearly does that. When I didn't know about this way back when, and I was listening to Sheikh Hudayfi, and I said, Subhanallah, I noticed something that he's not really doing mim ba'di, but it seems to be like little, uh, hidden meme in there. And then I asked the knowledgeable people, and then they said, yes, there is a separating of lips, a separating between lips, paper width. So this is when I learned it, that's how I learned it. So I practice that all the time. Min ba'di. Okay, let's move on to this one. But if you close the lips completely, it's also okay. Next one. So this is how we are going to read. So first of all, we realize that here you have noon sakin right here, and you have a ba right after it. So ba follows noon sakin. And because ba follows noon sakin, there is a hidden meme sound right there. And this is exactly what they're saying. That there is a hidden meme. So ba is converted into a hidden meme. This ba is converted into a hidden meme. And how do we do this now? How do we read this? فَأَنبَتْنَا. And if you tightly close your lips, فَأَنبَتْنَا. Okay. Generally, the Qaris of Indo-Pak subcontinent, they would close their lips. Okay, more or less tightly. So they would say فَأَنبَتْنَا. But many of the Arab Qurra, they will open their or separate their lips paper width, and they will say فَأَنبَتْنَا. All right, let's move on to Tanween. Examples on Tanween here. So where is the Tanween? Tanween is right here. What type of Tanween is it? Tanween Fathatain. followed by letter ba. So again, you know that ain fathatain. Remember I said that whenever you have fathatain, unless there is an exception, let me just draw it nicely. Unless there is an exception, whenever you have fathatain, it's followed by an alif. Because if you actually are going to stop, then it will turn into a mud. When we'll do the mudud, you will see why that alif is written and how it changes into a mud. But for now, we disregard this alif for now, this alif madiyya, and we will just consider the fathatain. So ain fathatain. But because there is a ba right after, so what they do is this is how they represent the fathatain. Within the top one replaced with a meme. So if I were to just do it again, they would just write like this, and that's what it is. So if you read this and then you have the bar right here, and this one also you can uh, equate it or equivalence it like this. So this is where the noon sakin is. Noon sakin and tanween. That's why you get the noon sakin and tanween rules together. It doesn't matter whether it is noon sakin or tanween. It is phonetically the same. Ending sound is of noon. So lanasfa'an bin nasiya. When we are reading them together, we will read it like this. لنسفعا بالناصية لنسفعا بالناصية. This one we stretch because of noon with the tajdeed, and we have already done the rules of noon with the tajdeed before. This one we stretch the nasal sound 2 beats. Here also we stretch the nasal sound 2 beats. Okay. Whenever you have the gunnas, and there's a gunna here, there's a gunna here, stretching of nasal sound, stretching of nasal sound. But there is a lot of people what they would do is they would, as they go, suppose there was another one here, suppose there was another one here, so they start degrading, and they don't do for example, they do two here, they would do, let's say, 1 3/4 here, they will do 1.5 here, they will do like 1 1/4 here. So start the duration of the gunna starts to degrade. So a good qari is not going to do that, or a person who's meticulous is not going to do that. He's going to maintain the two here and the two here and the two here and the two here as it goes. So protect the integrity of the gunnas, of the mudud, integrity of the letters, everything. And this is what is important. That's what you need to be meticulous about. Okay. The next example. So this is yawma'i dhin. Again, you have the dal, either dhin or dhin. Doesn't matter. Phonetically, they're both the same. Yawma'i dhin bi jahannam. So here is your tanween. Tanween kasratain. And here is your ba. Ba following tanween. We are going to have iqlab. And when you have iqlab, again, there is a hidden meme in there. So the tanween kasratain is written with like this, right here. So how are we going to read? We're not going to read yawma idin bi jahannam. And you must have actually heard a lot of people, especially Arabs, they do it. Uh, they will just read like this, yawma idin bi jahannam, because they need to still learn that particular rule. Okay. So the rule of iqlab needs to be applied. So how do we have to read this? Like this. يَوْمَئِذٍ بِجَهَنَّمَ يَوْمَئِذٍ بِجَهَنَّمَ two harakat, nasal sound. Okay, there you go. So, um, yeah, that's basically it for Iqlaab. If you have any questions, you can always ask. You can always maybe send it on Skype. Inshallah, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives me tawfiq, I will put a little chat box, but I'm just afraid that some people start abusing the chat box. That's why I didn't put the chat box in there. Otherwise, when we used to use Skype, then people would start chatting with each other. They would start missing the whole point. So you're not supposed to chat with each other. You're supposed to focus on what is being taught. But inshallah, I guess we are going to trust you guys because you hopefully are more mature. So unless it's a very, very important question, do not put it in the chat box. Inshallah, hopefully by next week, I will put that chat box in. So if you have a very important question, you can put it up. No problem, inshallah, because it seems like the recording, people are not too comfortable with it. Okay, so we've done iqlab, inshallah. Let us look at some of the examples of iqlab. Okay, and on the page that we read, so I go to the mushaf. As soon as it has loaded, let me make it big. And I went through it and I pointed out at least a couple of lines. Maybe you can point out more. Let's go through here. So there was one I found on line number 6. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, and there, right in the beginning. Here we go. So this is Iqlab with respect to Noon Sakin. So what they did is to represent the Iqlab, to represent the hidden meme, they put that little superscript meme here. So what is this here? Min, two words, min, ba'di. But when you put them together, this hidden meme is going to come into play, and we are going to read this and extend this nasal sound of this meme here, hidden meme, two beats, min ba'di. So if I were to read from here, ثم توليتم من بعد ذلك من بعد. So I'm as I told you before, that I practice the opening of the lips as per the tajweed note. So you will try to do that. But some people actually overdo it. They open their mouth too much. Supposed to be paper, paper width, which is pretty thin, very thin. So that's what we have to practice. Okay. All right. There's another one I found on line number 13. I'm going to take this away and move down. 13 would be two lines above the last. So this will be 15, 14, 13 here. There you go. This one is with respect to a tanween. Okay, so where is it? Okay, here's the tanween. And this tanween is tanween dhammatain. So tanween dhammatain, when in iqlab situation, the other one, the one that would have gone this way or the other way, is replaced by a meme. There you go. So what are the two words here that are affected? These two words. Awanun bayna. So when we are going to join the two together, read them in continuum, then we will say awanun bayna dhalik. Awanun bayna dhalik. So this is where we do iqlab. with respect to tanween here. The first one was with respect to noon, noon, or it was noon sakin. Sorry, noon, yeah, it was noon sakin. And here, because it's tanween, the ending obviously is of course noon sakin. So all tanweens, the ending is the sound of a noon sakin. Nun. So this would be again noon, dhamma, nun, noon, nun. All right, here we go. Back to the tajweed notes. So I think we have done the topic of or subtopic of Iqlaab. Back to tajweed notes here. So Iqlaab is done. If there are any questions, please you can send them to me on my Skype account. I think most of you have it. If not, you can always phone me and or text me and I will send it to you inshallah. Let's do Idghaam now. Uh, where is it? So Idhar Halaqi, we finished. Iqlab, we finished. And Idgham. Okay, that's why I was wondering why did I say Iqlab? Because Iqlab is indeed the next topic here. However, when it is listed out here, in this list, Iqlab appears the third one. So I was just wondering that why did I mention Iqlab the next? Because it appears as the next subchapter anyways. Alright, Alhamdulillah, we did that. Move on to Idgham. So, what does Idgham mean? Idgham is assimilation or to mix or to put one thing into another. It is the mixing or entering of a Saakin letter into a Mutaharrik letter, which follows the Saakin letter so that they become a single Mushaddad letter. Okay, so Idgham letters are 6. What are they? Yarmalun. What is Yarmalun? Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Wow, Noon. So if any one of these 6 letters appear right after Noon Sakin or Tanween, then you will have a situation of Idgham. Then you will have to um, then you will have to do this. You will have to mix or put one thing into another or the enter the Sakin letter into the Mutaharrik letter. Let's see how that is done. Moving down. There is a note here saying the Noon Sakin or Tanween and the Idgham letter have to be in 2 different words. Otherwise, the reader is not supposed to do Idgham. Okay. This is important. In this case, it will be Idhar Mutlaq. And this case can be found only in 4 words. These 4 words here. Okay, what are these 4 words? So now, I mean, if you strictly look according to the definition up here, let me just take this out. If you look at this definition here, Yarmalun, whenever Noon Sakin or Tanween is followed by any one of the Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Waw, Noon, you have Idgham. So if you look here, this word, there is a Noon Sakin, okay, and followed by a Waw. So you should have Idgham, right, according to that definition that we saw before. But these are the exceptions. So we do not do the idgham. In this case, we will do idhar. Otherwise, this will be read siwanun, which is going to be pretty funny as well, or qiwanun, or bunyanun, or dunya. It's going to be pretty funny. So we don't do that. The exception is we read it like this: sinwanun. Although there is a idgham letter following nun sakin here, there is an idgham letter following nun sakin here, there is an idgham letter following nun sakin here, and there is an idgham letter, yeah, following nun sakin here. But we do not follow the procedure that we saw in the previous definition there. We will make idhar, known as idhar mutlaq. صنوان قنوان بنيان الدنيا. So we will pronounce the noon clearly without extending the nasal sound. Just treat it like idhar. Okay, there we go. Move on. So types of idgham. First of all, there are two types of idghams. Okay, idgham with gunna and idgham without gunna. Okay, like this. So this is the second type. The first type here, bi gunna or bila gunna. The first type, idgham with gunna, idgham bi gunna. And second type, idgham bila gunna, without gunna. These are the two types. Now, when does bi gunna happen and when does without gunna happen? Okay. Idgham bi gunna happens whenever any one of these four out of the six. So what are the six letters? Ya, yarmalun, ya, ra, mim, lam, oops, sorry, lam, wow, noon, yarmalun. Six letters. Out of these, we take four letters out. The first one, this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. And we make a word out of them. This one, yanmu, ya, noon, mim, wow. Yanmu. Okay. So these four letters, if they are present, any one of these letters, if they are present right after Nun Sakin or Tanween, we will have idgham with gunna, nasal sound. If the Nun Sakin or Tanween is followed by any one of these four letters, the reader should make idgham with gunna for 2 beats. The nasal sound again will be stretched for 2 beats. Okay. How do we pronounce it? Okay. Skip the noon or tanween and pronounce gunna with the following letter of for 2 beats. We do it like this. The first example. Where is noon sakin? Here is noon sakin. Falan, and then followed by a noon. So noon is one of the yanmu letters. This will be idgham bi gunna. We will stretch the nasal sound for 2 harakat. So how are we going to do this? Falan nazidakum. Again. Falan nazidakum. Alright. And this one here. 2 words. Faman ya'mal. Here is your noon sakin. Followed by a ya. And ya is one of the yanmu letters. Ya, noon, mim, wow. Yanmu. So again, we will have idgham bi gunna here. Idgham with stretching of the nasal sound. So we are going to recite this like this. فَمَن يَعْمَلْ فَمَن يَعْمَلْ. All right. Next example. Min masad. Two words. When we read them together in continuum, then here is your noon sakin followed by a meme, and meme again is one of the yanmu letters. So how are we going to read this now? Mim masad, not min masad. Mim masad. Mim masad. So noon got assimilated into meme. In this one, here is your noon sakin, and here is your wow. Wow following noon sakin, and wow is a one of the yanmu letters. So therefore we will have idgham, and idgham what type? Bi gunna, with gunna, stretching the nasal sound. So therefore, how are we going to recite this one now? Wow after noon sakin, min, not min waraihim, but mew, mew, mew waraihim. Okay, this mad here, 5 harakat. So I'm just doing 5 harakat mad here. Min waraihim. Like this. So these are the situations of idgham bi gunna, and they are all with respect to noon sakin. Now these examples are with respect to the tanween. Let's look at them. Here are your two words. And remember again, going back to this definition here or this exception here, that the noon sakin or the tanween and the idgham letter have to be in two different words. This is very important. And that's what we have seen so far, that the noon sakin is in one word and the letter of idgham is in the following word. So they must be in two different words. That's why we are looking at two words. If they are in the same word, then you have this idhar mutlaq condition. Okay. So examples on tanween. The first one, again two words, bardan wala. But we don't read it like that when we read them in continuum. So how are we going to do it? Again, dal fathatain. Remember, there's an alif here. This alif is not used unless you're actually stopping. Then this changes into dal alif fatha da, total mad. So then equivalent, then again it's effectively noon sakin. The ending sound is of noon sakin. So you have in this case wow, which is again one of the yanmu letters. Yanmu letters. Ya, noon, mim, wow. And which is again a subset of ya. Oh, let me just write the word. Whoa. Ya, ra, mim, lam, wow, noon. Yarmalun. Okay. So, ya, the first one, noon, mim, and wow. Leaving lam and ra out. That is the next group of letters. Next, or as you can subgroup, two groups. One group yanmu and the other one would be ra and lam. We'll do this right after without gunna in this subchapter here. All right. How are we going to do This one, how are we going to recite this one? Bar, down, bar, down, wala. So, two harakat, nasal sound. Bar, down, wala. Okay. Next one. Two words again. Jazaan min. When we put them together, jazaan min. Jazaan min. Okay, that's how idgham is going to happen, and we will get the nasal sound of two harakat, two beats. Next one, two words again. Qulubun yawma'idhin. Okay, so when we are reading in continuum, then qulubun yawma'idhin. Qulubun yawma'idhin. Okay, the next one. What is the tanween? Right here, tanween kasratain, followed by a noon. Again, a yanmu letter right here. So, two words, yawma idin and na'ima. When we put them together, yawma idin na'ima, yawma idin na'ima. There we go. So that's how we will be doing idgham bi gunna, idgham with gunna, meaning idgham with the nasal sound stretched. All right. Next subgroup here is idgham without gunna. The letters for the idgham without gunna are ra and lam. If the noon sakin or tanween is followed by any one of these two letters, there is no gunna while making the idgham. So we will not make any nasal sound at all. The nasal sound of that noon sakin is going to go away. The way of pronunciation is skip the noon or the tanween and pronounce ra or lam without gunna, without the nasal sound. Let me move this up a bit. Okay, so examples with noon sakin. We have examples with noon sakin and we have examples with tanween. So let's look at the examples with noon sakin here. All right. Where is noon sakin? Right here. Okay, followed by an idgham letter, but this is a letter belonging to the group or subgroup ra and lam, and these are coming out of yar maloon. That's the major group here. The other subgroup which we already did, which causes the gunna to happen, is ya noon mim waw, yanmu. So these six letters, we can break them down into two subgroups here, yanmu and ra and lam. With yanmu, idgham bi gunna. With ra and lam, idgham bila gunna. So how are we going to read this? An rabbihim? No. Ar rabbihim. So this noon is gone. Noon is gone. There's no nasal sound at all. And effectively what we are doing, let me just take all of these away. So effectively what we are doing, we are going from ain, we are going straight into ra. And we're joining with the ra here. Ar, ar, as if this noon doesn't exist at all. We just skip it. Ar rabbihim. Okay, a lot of people have this habit of sneaking that little, because as soon as they see the noon sakin, they sneak it in. Like an rabbihim, which is wrong. Big X. Then you are not doing idgham bila gunna. Bila means without, no gunna at all. Without. So don't sneak that gunna in. It won't be correct. So all what we do is we go straight and we skip the noon sound altogether, and we go and join with the ra. Ar. So it's like basically like going like this. Ar. Ar rabbihim. Ar rabbihim. Ar rabbihim. Next word again. Noon sakin. Okay. What are the two words? La in lam. But we are not going to read it. La in lam. No good. We will say. So as we just discussed, this noon is going to go away. Lam will go and join with this lam directly. Okay. Non-stop flight from here to here. I'm sorry. This little Hamza. I missed the Hamza. Hamza joins with the lam. La illam. This Hamza, this micro Hamza down here, but this is a Hamza there. So if I take out everything, you'll be able to see clearly. Here's the Noon Sakin, and here's the Hamza right in between. So if I write this big, and then here, and then here, La, E, and then you have the Lam, and then the Meme. Okay, this Noon is going to go away. It's going to go away. And this Hamza is going to, let's use the same pen, is going to go and join with the Lam here. La, il, lam. La, il, lam. La, il, lam. Okay? Alright. The next one. With Tanween. How are we going to do this? The two words. ذكر للعالمين. ذكر للعالمين. We don't do that. We are going to again skip the noon sound. And this ra is going to go straight into lam. And we will say it. ذكر للعالمين. ذكر للعالمين. This is the correct way of doing it. Next one. Here's your tanween. Dhammatain again. And you have, in this case was lam. In this case is the ra. So we will not say la ra'ufun rahim. That will be wrong. The nasal sound is going to go away. We will say la ra'ufur. Fur. Not fun. Fur. La ra'ufur rahim. And that is what is bila gunna. No gunna. No nasal sound. Don't sneak that nasal sound in. A lot of people do that out of habit, but then you're not doing, technically, then you're wrong because you're not doing, or you're not doing away with the gunna sound. Bila gunna. La ra'u fur. Fur rahim. La ra'u fur rahim. Okay, there you go. So we have done idhar halaqi, idgham, and iqlab. So let us go and look at them in the mushaf. We have only 15 minutes to look at it, and then we will recite the page right after. Let's go to the mushaf. Okay, and we will We will start. Let me just make this big so that it's easier for us to work with. Okay, here we go. Okay, now it's pretty big. Okay, let's start from here. What page is this? This is page, okay, 10. All right, we already recited this. So we are going to look at now three rules. We will look at Idhar Halaki, we will look at Iqlaab, and we will look at Idgham. Three rules, and we will identify them as we go. So from here, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I will recite, and as soon as we hit one of them, we will identify. إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والنصارى والصابئين من آمن. So here is your, what is this? It is Izhar Halaqi. Huh? So you have Noon Sakin and Noon Sakin followed by a throat letter. Hamza is a throat letter from the bottom most part of the throat. Man amana. So what do we do in Idhar Halaqi? We do not stretch the nasal sound. We make the Noon sound clear and short. Man amana, like that. Okay, continue. من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا. We didn't do this rule, so I'm not going to stop here. That's the next rule we are going to do. It's going to be ikhfa here, but because we didn't do it, so I'm not going to highlight this. We are just identifying the ones that we have done already. وعمل صالحا فلهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم. So now you have Tanween followed by a throat letter. So you have Idhar Halaqi. Again, similar to that, but with Tanween. ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. وإذ أخذنا ميثاقكم ورفعنا فوقكم الطور خذوا ما آتيناكم بقوة واذكروا ما فيه لعل. Did I? Oh yeah. Here you go. So I have someone here helping me. Your auntie. She just told me you skipped one, and I did right here. So you have kasratain followed by a waw, and we are going to have idgham bighunna, and waw belongs to yanmu. So idgham bighunna. بقوة واذكروا ما فيه لعلكم تتقون. ثم توليتم من بعد ذلك. So we hit a Iqlaab situation. Noon Sakin followed by a Ba. Here we are going to stretch the nasal sound and highlight the hidden meme right here. We can open our mouth paper width. من بعد ذلك. Yeah, that's true. I should have done different colors. Maybe because it's iqlab, so let me do this with the different color here. I can do this with a blue color here. Okay. There we go. Um, So this was idhar halaqi, and this one was idgham, and this is iqlab. Okay, so let me pick another color then. I guess this one, and this would be for idgham. Idgham would be the brown color there. So idgham, wow, brown for idgham. We have actually run out of the page anyway, so uh, let's just remember it. Idhar halaqi, what is this color here? Pink. And idgham, yellow. And iqlab, blue. Okay, we're almost out of the page now. We need to scroll the page. Okay. من بعد ذلك فلولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته لكنتم. I need to scroll now. من الخاسرين. Now when I scroll, all those markings are not going to match, so I'm going to take them out. Okay, and we move. Let's see. Okay. ولقد علمتم الذين اعتدوا منكم في السبت فقلنا لهم كونوا قردة خاسئين. So I guess the Izhar Halaqi was the pink one, right? Here we go. Oops. قردة خاسئين. So we do not stretch the nasal sound. فجعلناها نكالا لما. Okay, so here is your idgham. Idgham was going to be yellow, right? Idgham, but this is what type of idgham? You have a lam after tanween. So idgham bila gunna. نكالا لما, not lan lima. نكالا لما بين يديها وما خلفها وموعظة للمتقين. Again another one. موعظة lil. So you have a lam after tanween. Tanween fathatain. Idgham bila gunna. We don't make gunna. موعظة للمتقين. وإذ قال موسى لقومه إن الله يأمركم أن تذبحوا بقرة قالوا أتتخذنا هزوا قال أعوذ بالله أن أكون. There you go. So here is your idhar halaqi. An akuna. Noon sakin followed by a throat letter. An akuna min al jahilin. قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا. Now you have idgham bila gunna. One more time. So what do you have? Yubayyin lana. Noon sakin followed by lam. So here is your idgham bila gunna. Yubayyin lana. So noon is skipped altogether. Ya goes and joins with this lam. يبين لنا ما هي قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا. mashallah, we're coming across lots of idgham bila gunnas. Again you have tanween dammatain followed by a lam. Idgham bila gunna, again you have a lam. So it's not baqaratun la, no, it's بقرة لا فارض. Now again you have idgham but بغنة because you have a wow. So we're going to do how? A nasal sound for two harakat. فارض ولا بكر. Now what did we come across? We came across what? إظهار حلقي. بكر. So you have tanween followed by a throat letter عين. بكر عوان. You got another tanween but you have a ba. So you have a ba. So what do we have? Iqlaab. Did we make a color for Iqlaab? What was it? I think Iqlaab was, yeah, the blue one. Here is your blue. So again, from the beginning. From the beginning of the line. بقرة لا فارض ولا بكر عوان بين ذلك فافعلوا ما تؤمرون. Ah, okay, just a little bit left. قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما لونها قال إنه Did I miss one? I did miss. Okay, there you go. So you have noon sakin and you have a lam. So I missed one and let's mark it up. There you go. See, this is like riding a bike. So if you once you have learned to ride the bike, then you don't look at the pedals. You just look in front and you just go. You're not worried about falling. You're not. It's like driving a standard car. So when you're learning, well, all everything, all your four limbs, both hands, both feet are engaged in all different things. Right hand on the gear shift, left hand on the steering, right foot on the gas pedal, and the left foot is used for the clutch, obviously alternating. But once you get used to it, then you don't think about it. And that's what happens. You just keep on reciting. Oh, yes, I missed one. Okay. Yeah, because we're trying to identify. But once you are used to it, you're not even going to think. It will come naturally. That's what I meant. Okay. So, رَبَّكَ يُبَيِّن. So, not يُبَيِّن لَنَا, but يُبَيِّن لَنَا مَا لَوْنُهَا قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة صفراء فاقع لونها. Again, you have tanween followed by a lam. So not فاقع لونها, no. فاقع لونها تسر الناظرين. Okay, there you go. So we've done the whole page. Okay, we still have a little bit more time, so we can do some more of these, inshallah, for the next page. Then this is the page we are going to recite now, page number 11. Um, all right, we can do a little bit more. We can look at the rules that we have already done as well. So let's try to identify all the rules that we have done. So let me just go back first of all and look at the rules that we have already done, the Tajweed notes. Let me go back to page the table of contents, and from there we're going to pick up all the rules that we did. Okay, so we've done Noon Mushaddad and Mim Mushaddad, Qalqala. So we will identify all of these. Heavy and rounded letters, but this is more of a letter specific. Perhaps we're going to leave that for now. Lam in the exalted. Okay, well, let's do this one as well. Ruling of Ra, we can do this, but because it's letter based, so we just, for now, we skip that for now. Okay, and we will do the rules of Noon, Sakin, and Tanween. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's what we will do. So we'll do Noon Mushaddad and Mim Mushaddad. We'll identify the qalqalas, and we will do the Lamul Jalala, Lamul Jalala, and we will do the Noon Sakin and Tanween rules, except for Ikhfa. So let's go back to the, no, sorry, not this one, Mushaf. Okay, let me select the complete page. All right. So let's start from the beginning and start identifying. It's very important. So once you can identify, then you this is where you're actually learning. Okay, and this is where you're actually improving in your knowledge. That basically knowing why you are reading what you're reading, knowing all the rules, like a medical doctor when they learn. Okay, they have like whatever the anatomy of different parts of the body. And then if you ever saw old drawings of the human organs anatomy, and there's like millions, or I'm just exaggerating, like thousands of names given to different parts of that particular organ. So it's very, very important in any science. You need to identify, you need to name things and identify those things with those names. Otherwise, you don't know it. Then you don't know it. So like how do you refer? In order to refer to something, you need to know it by its name. Or in order to refer to a situation, you need to know the name that has been given to that particular situation. It's important. So the terminology is very important. So don't complain. Let's learn. If you have the will, you will learn. Okay, from this one. قالوا دعوا. Okay. قالوا دع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما هي. So now, I guess, let's start marking them. I'm just going to use one color, but we will name them. So we said we will identify qalqala. So this is where qalqala happens. Qalqala. Dal is a qalqala letter. So we are going to recite or recite it with qalqala. قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا. So you have noon sakin followed by a lam. Idghaam bila gunna. يبين لنا ما هي إن البقرة تشابه علينا. And you have here noon mushaddad. What happens when you have noon mushaddad or mim mushaddad? You stretch the nasal sound. Innal baqara tashabaha tashabaha alayna. One more thing about, here's your noon mushaddad again, stretching the noon. But here I wanted to point out that whenever you have a lean situation, see this one, lean. What is lean? Whenever wow sakin or ya sakin are preceded by a letter with a whatever letter, I'm just drawing a rectangle here, with a fatha. Whatever letter having a fatha. This one is called lean situation. And this wow in this case will be wow layyina and ya layyina. Okay, lean. So how do we do it? Whenever you have ya, the ending, so in a lean situation, lam ya fatha, not le. A lot of people will read this like this. Alena, alena. That's wrong. The ending sound in the lean situation in this one should be, this is, I'm sorry, this is not hamza, this is a sukun. Sukun, like this. Ending sound is going to be e. In case of wow, ending sound is going to be oo. Oo. So, alayna, not lena. Lena, wrong. Alayna. تشابه علينا وإنا إن شاء الله لمهتدون قال إن ah here's your noon mushaddad stretching the nasal sound, but here's your lam. So lam of Allah is known as lamul jalala, preceded by a fatha. So if lamul jalala, lam of Allah, is preceded by a letter with a fatha or a dhamma, then we are going to recite this lam of Allah mufakham, rounded, heavy, full mouth. All these definitions. Mufakham, lam will be rounded. So how are we going to do it? In Insha Allah. Allah. Make sure that Hamza is done flat. Just because we are going to round this lam, do not round the Hamza. A lot of people do that. Insha Allah. Allah. Oh. Oh. Hamza Fatha is not oh. Hamza Fatha is a. So you need to preserve that. Insha Allah. Don't round it. You don't need to excessively flatten it like Allah. No. But don't round it just because a rounded letter or a mufakham letter is going to follow. Insha Allahu lamuhtadun. قال إنه يقول إنها again نون مشدد بقرة لا تنوين followed by لام إدغام بلا غنة بقرة لا ذلول تثير الأرض تثير الأرض ولا تسقي الحرث مسلمة لا شية فيها قالوا الآن جئت بالحق. Be careful also, one more request I have, whenever you have kasras like this one here, okay, a lot of people they would do the kasra will be like a and dhamma will be like o, and this is actually very frustrating, okay, to a tajweed teacher. With kasra everything should go e, anything with kasra e sound, anything with dhamma u sound, u. So jita, not jita, jita bil haqq فذبحوها وما كادوا يفعلون. Okay, now inshallah we will stop here. Uh, yeah, we will stop. I mean, like marking up. Yeah. Okay, just one more thing. Your auntie is pointing out that we should also highlight the qalqala here. Now, qalqala, remember, there is three levels of qalqala. Let's do this before we stop the marking and go to the recitation of this page. There is the qalqala, let's say the strongest here. So strongest, I will just say 1, 2, 3. So 3 is the strongest, and then 2 would be the little less strong, and 1 will be the least strong. Whenever qalqala letter appears in the middle of the word, okay, is sakin and appears in the middle of the word, we will do it uh, with, we will do the qalqala sound, but it will be the weakest form of it. Then, if the qalqala letter appears at the end, meaning where you're stopping, if it is right there where you stop, then, for example, if you were to stop here, okay, then Jim will become sakin, and Jim is a qalqala letter. So how will we say mukhrij? If there was no shadda here, we will say bil haq bil. But is this qaf has a shadda? So we will make the strongest here because there is a shadda. We say bil haq. That's the strongest. If there is a shadda on a qalqala letter, and if there is no shadda but a sukoon, and this one actually becomes sakin, so this one, the dhammatain, will go away if you were to stop, and it will become sakin. Mukhrij. Okay. Uh, oh, sorry. Is there some other word I can look at? Maybe. Uh, yeah. So yeah, we already looked at this. This is a qalqala right here. But I was trying to see if there is a word that would be similar to this, where when we stop, the last letter goes sakin, and we have to make qalqala on it. Um, no, I can't find one right away. No, I don't want to spend too much time. But one more comment before we go. A lot of people, when they stop, let's say here, they will make qalqala on dod. Dod is not a qalqala letter. So you will have to stop dead. Like for example, لا ذلول تثير الأرض. You don't make qalqala, but you should make istitala, stretching the dod makhraj. Istitala is called istitala, stretching the makhraj of dad 1.5 to 1 3/4 harakat. All right, let's stop marking here and let us read the page because only about 5 minutes left. Let's read the page. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما هي إن البقرة شابه علينا وإنا إن شاء الله لمهتدون. قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا ذلول تثير الأرض ولا تسقي الحرث مسلمة لا شية فيها. قالوا الآن جئت بالحق. فذبحوها وما كادوا يفعلون. وإذ قتلتم نفسا فادارأتم فيها والله مخرج ما كنتم تكتمون. فقلنا فاضربوه ببعضها كذلك يحيي الله الموتى ويريكم آياته لعلكم تعقلون ثم قست قلوبكم من بعد ذلك فهي كالحجارة أو أشد قسوة وإن من الحجارة لما يتفجر منه الأنهار وإن منها لما يشقق فيخرج منه الماء وإن منها لما يهبط من خشية الله وما الله بغافل عما تعملون أفتطمعون أن يؤمنوا لكم وقد كان فريق منهم يسمعون كلام الله ثم يحرفونه من بعد ما عقلوه وهم يعلمون وإذا لقوا الذين آمنوا قالوا آمنا وإذا خلا بعضهم إلى بعض قالوا أتحدثونهم بما فتح الله عليكم ليحاجوكم به عند ربكم أفلا تعقلون صدق الله العظيم. So inshallah next week we will start with Ikhfa, the last sub rule of Noon Sakin and Tanween. We'll start with Ikhfa, which is pretty big actually. So that's why I wanted to save it for the last, and then inshallah we will proceed with the topic that follows after it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this, give us sincerity, and help us learn the rules of tajweed and recite the Quran for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we learn tajweed again, reminder, so that we can recite the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala correctly, and we only recite it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me first of all and all of us this tawfiq. Ameen. Subhanallahi wa bihamdih. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.